Movie star, director, and producer Tom Hanks has won 2 Oscars, 4 Golden Globes, and 7 Emmys. Let me say that again. 2 Oscars, 4 Golden Globes, and 7 Emmys. I think this guy is talented while delivering some of Hollywood's most memorable lines. Oh,
now, you know, I wish Hologram for the King was as hip as that Carly Rae Jepsen video. But that was I really, 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 really like you with Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yes. Sort of the same thing, huh?
Somebody's heads are going to roll in that control room right now.
Okay, guess what, Tom? We don't want heads to roll. We have the clip.
Look, I know they're all. You know what? They're all still foggy. Oh, we'll show it later. Okay. They're all still foggy from the idea that Donald Trump is getting speechwriters and is moving to teleprompters, which I believe is going to guarantee him a 3rd place finish in all of the primaries for media. Honestly, they want to put that guy with speechwriters and teleprompters. Yeah. Everybody said, "Let Donald be Donald. We need a fresh break." That's
we
right.
need the spectacle of Donald.
So let's get some advisors in. Let's turn
it into something else.
This is a job I do not want. Position free. Teleprompter operator for Donald Trump. I do not want to take that gig. That's going to be a tough job. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
You are such a history buff. What do you think history's going to say about campaign 2016?
You know, I'm reading right now William Manchester's book called The Glory and the Dream. It's out of print, so I'm not promoting it. But it's about American history from 1932 to 1952. I'm going to tell you, this election now has nothing on the 1948 election for president. It has nothing on the 1952 election for president. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. Except this time, the president of the Junior Chamber of Commerce looks like he could have 1,100 delegates.
48 was Truman running for re-election.
Yes, it was. And what? Dewey defeats Truman. There wasn't a pollster or a political hack in the country that said Dewey wasn't going to be the next president of the United States.
How about 52 when it was Stevenson
in 52,
versus
Dewey went
Eisenhower?
over to speechwriters and teleprompters, and it just went right into the toilet.
So you're not ready for President Trump?
Oh, sure. Look, America's going to be fine.
Yeah.
We're the greatest, most resilient nation in the history of all of civilization. We'll be fine. Yeah. We've worked ourselves out of holes many, many times over and over again.
Does that mean you think Trump will put us in a hole?
Listen, I have no powers of clairvoyance like you geniuses in the news media. I'm not saying he's going to be president of the United States.
What are you saying?
Well, I'm going to say that we are going to have the most hilarious September, October, and first week of November in a very long, long time. And you people are going to be exhausted.
Yes.
You're going to be more. You people. Yes, you people.
You people.
In the, what is it? The fame stream media? I know it starts with some letter that is not mainstream.
You know what? I'm going to run the clip now. We have the clip.
Okay, let's show the clip.
For the King.
Save a job.
Here because I haven't been to Saudi yet. I can't presume to know the lay of the land or the state of the king's mind.
You've been on the bench for a while, Alan. This isn't the Schwinn days. You're not selling bicycles to kids anymore. So I need to know that you're on point, that you're gonna close this.
This is sales. You make estimates and you make plans, but then you get there and everything changes. But you make the sale.
You know what you do? You make the deal.
Yes,
you make the deal.
You make the deal.
It's the art of the deal.
The art of the deal.
So the rumor is that it is a Dave Eggers book, so that's not a rumor.
Dave Eggers, yeah.
But you read it and you thought this would be a great movie.
Well, Dave Eggers writes these movies that are almost surreal and also most subversive because they're about people and circumstances. His logic takes them there, but you can't predict what's happening. And Dave Eggers does not need movies to be made out of his books.
And his books have not often been made into movies.
No, as a matter of fact, he had the most fabulous memoir on the planet Earth, the heartbreaking work of staggering genius. And I knew personally screenwriters that I got a take for that. I know how to make that into the movie. And I told every one of them that book should never be turned into a movie because it would lose all of the voice of Dave. So when we met Dave, I said, Dave, you're so smart to never just sell your books to movie studios. But you know, this one will really work great.
This is a sweet story, Tom. Set the scene for Alan Clay.
Alan Clay is that American for whom life has been turned upside on his head. He used to make the greatest bicycles in the world. Schwinns. You have a Schwinn?
Yeah.
Man, I never had a Schwinn. My parents always went to like Western Auto to get me the $45 bicycles. But if the kids who had Schwinns, they're the luckiest people. And so he ran the Schwinn Bicycle Company that made all the mistakes that seem to have been made in the last 30 years. They stopped making them in Chicago. They started making them cheaper and cheaper. They went overseas. They went to China. And now the Schwinn bicycle is nothing more than a nameplate that's put on the same.
And now he gets
cheesy
this
thing.
job.
Then he
and so
gets
his
this job,
thing
and
is
he's got to
online.
go to Saudi Arabia to try to sell a three-dimensional holographic, what is it, a FaceTime
Yes.
business conference.
For the king who never shows up.
And eventually he never shows up.
But it's a sweet, I know we got to go to break, but before we go to break, we have to say this. Tom Hanks has a love scene in that movie.
You trying to scare the children, Gail? I'm trying to sell
I'm just not
tickets
used to
to
Tom
this
Hanks
thing.
in the love scene movie, and I loved it, Tom.
And in
It
the
was very
morning,
tender.
too.
Yeah, I know.
It was so tender. I wanted to know what that was like for you.
Now, before we go to break?
Okay, all right, we'll go to break.
No, I'm going to ask my speech writers to come slap something on the
We're gonna go to break.
teleprompter so I can go and tell you something about that.
Tom's going to stick around. We're going to try and play some more clips. Who knows? Coming up, we'll talk about a surprising thing he has in common with Queen Elizabeth.
They're both 90.
Yeah.